Hey, what's up you guys? So in today's video, we're going to be giving you guys our picks for the 10 best Yu-Gi-Oh card artworks.
And guys, come on. We know ours aren't going to be everyone's favorites, but we hope you at least agree a little bit with us.
Yeah, and the thing about these is that these aren't really what we think are the coolest artworks. We kind of went for more, what's the more artistic-y, like beautiful looking art.
Mm-hmm.
So that did influence our list, so keep that in mind. And at the end of the video, we want to hear what yours were. So we're gonna each pick 5.
And together makes 10, so there's your math for today.
So I guess you can go first.
Alright. My first will be basically the Burning Abyss archetype. Because
Yeah, these are newer.
yeah, they came out in Duelist Alliance, TCG exclusive, so they've got kind of a different art compared to most cards.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of them and they're pretty great. Well, they've got a strong hell theme, mostly reds and
Yeah,
browns.
they're demonic. But I think that they are, well, they almost look like they could have been painted, like, you know.
Yeah, and there's a lot of detail that goes into these cards that was really great.
Yeah,
And
I
you
like
know
the
what?
card in detail.
The one exception is Dante. Dante is kind of hideous.
He's kind of just one of those another normal
So,
Yu-Gi-Oh monster just standing there
The
looking.
demons look a lot better.
My number 5 pick is Abyss Dweller. I like Abyss Dweller because he looks like he's just kind of like, because there's more than just him on the card. Like, you know, with so many of the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, it's just like the monster and they're just sort of like there.
Yeah, in the foreground too.
And they're just like in the foreground staring. But like with Abyss Dweller, like you actually see the cave and like, and it kind of like goes back and then like he or it.
Yeah, it's like the cave is the card and he's like the background.
Yeah, he's the background. He's like creeping. It's like really weird and like it's scary. Like he's dwelling in the abyss. He's not just some mermaid monster attacking you with a spear. So he's not number 5. What's your number 4?
Well, I gotta give it to Cypher the Sky Signed Cypher the Sky Dragon.
Yeah, that's the alternate art one. Or well, the newer.
Yeah, it's alternate art. Just say alternate.
Yeah.
Because there's been other reprints and they don't look nearly as good as that one. I like this one because even though it's a darker card, you can't see too much in, I guess, the more flashy versions. But it's got real depth to the picture. There's a strong contrast in where Cypher shoots its beam from its mouth. And so I like the contrast there. And the light reflects off Cypher in a great way. It shows off its main coloration in a dark sky. So that's a really cool look and it's had to be on my list.
My number 4 is Unbreakable Spirit. It's a newer card. It debuted, I think, in the Battle Pack. And basically, it's just this guy standing on a mountain, like facing off against these dragons. And it's good because, like he said with some of his picks, it's got a lot of detail in it. It's got a really epic feel to it.
I mean, I felt epic looking at it.
Right, because like normally, like all the spells and traps, it's like this is Fiendish Chain. It's just some chains, or like this is, you know, D-Prison. It's just like sort of a little blast. But with this, it's like actually like a scene. So
yeah, it's like you want to kind of think about what's happening here, who's
like,
fighting.
Yeah, it's like there's like a story going on, so that's why I like it. Yours, number 3.
All right, my number 3. I know it's not a little repetitive, but the entire Noble Knight archetype.
Which I totally agree with.
I mean, I can't think of a single card with a bad artwork.
Yeah, I think Joan's kind of ugly though.
But
she doesn't feel.
She
like,
never happened, guys.
Yeah,
Joan.
I don't even consider her Noble Knight. Yeah, the Noble Knight's all like great art.
But the ones that stick out are the Noble Arms themselves.
Mm-hmm.
All of them being swords in the stone, except for one that is not as great as the others, but whatever. They're mostly centered on the sword. You have a great background, like in Gallatin. You have the sunrise in the back with overlooking this village.
All the arms are painted, right? Almost all of them seem like they're actually like painted card art.
I mean, they're really great. And the one knight that I think looks the best has to be Ignoble Knight Lancelin. He's got this nice shadowy feel, like he was painted too. But he doesn't look like the other Noble Knights, because the other Noble Knights, they have
It's kind of like he's coming out of the shadows, like
yeah, he's like a being of shadows.
Yeah, like he's attacking from it or something.
He looks different from all the others, and that's what really makes him stand out to me.
My number 3 is Trident Dragion. This has always been like one of my favorites. Trident Dragion, like he's cool because he's like a 3-headed dragon, but he also looks like he's sort of like painted, I guess. And it kind of reminds me more of like a Magic the Gathering style art. That's what a lot of these picks were. But this one, it feels like it's sort of like something you'd see in Magic the Gathering, or maybe like promotional art for some RPG lore or game. I don't know. He's really cool. It's fiery. It's red. It's bright. You know, so it really stands out, and I like him. I just think like when you summon him, even though he's not the best card, at least you get nice things to look at.
I mean, right before he gets blown up.
Yeah. So he's my number 3.
Okay, my number 2. I'm giving it the Quantum Cat. I had never heard of this before I heard it had a mat, and oh my god, it is great.
Yeah, Quantum Cat looks cool. She's
I mean,
just like
what's that?
she's just like coming out of the cage, like as a shadow.
It's like, I know it's supposed to be based off of Schrodinger's cat, which I don't exactly understand how that pertains to the art or whatever, but I don't care. It's a great look, seeing him kind of break apart in half while he leaves his cage, because the whole thing was about what would be inside the box. Would the cat be alive or dead or not there at all?
And it also is another one of those painted looking cards where it's not just like a cartoony thing.
And what I love most about cards, that I probably said before, is contrast. It had a good contrast with the green lights it uses to bisect his body, and the rest of it's mostly dark. And so
Yeah,
it's
really
good looking at
accents it
that
well.
pinpoint of light there. Something to focus on.
My number 2 is Typhoon, not Mystical Space Typhoon, but the actual Typhoon card. It's that trap from Battle Pack also, and it's really cool because like just look at it. It's like, you know, Mystical Space Typhoon and like Heavy Storm are just sort of like these blowing tornadoes, but like it's like really
You get to see the tornado, not just the inside of it or who's inside of it or what's getting blown away.
Yeah, it's really epic. It's like it's again, it's one of those cards where like there's like it seems like there's a story involved because you see the ground and you see the twisters and you see the sky and the lightning. It's like all in one, so it's not just an MST.
It's the kind of card you look for Easter eggs in. Like, who's getting a shout out in here?
Yeah, it really does feel like that. So.
But speaking of cards that give you shout outs, one of my top cards had to be Phantom Fortress Enter Vladimir, because it's just so much better than Drake Attack. Artwork wise.
Yeah.
Artwork wise.
It's a card, I don't know if that's true, but...
Because there's just so much going on in it. You've got multiple Mecha Phantom Beasts making appearances. You've got a clear sky. It's got a good splash of color in the engines, which I don't know what the hell thing runs on because it makes no sense, but we're not going there.
It's really big. Like, I like all the cards where it's like a big monster and a big city.
Because they give you perspective. They give you a far off shot so you can see the whole thing most of the time.
And my number 1 card is Prophecy Destroyer. Prophecy Destroyer he's too cool.
I mean, really.
He is too cool. Like, he is like literally in just...
He looks nothing like the rest of his
other yeah, exactly. Like, and I mean, I guess that's maybe because he's supposed to be like the destroyer, whereas they're like fulfilling the prophecy. He's just trying to like destroy it. But
like, is he the bad guy or is he with them or what?
It really is one of those cards that makes you wonder. Like, it's not like, you know, oh, here's High Priestess. He's just like the HVIC of this archetype. But with like him, it's like, what's his story? You know?
Like, I mean, he's their boss monster, but I mean, that's kind of different.
Yeah, it's interesting, and he's got like the mountain background. He's just sort of like, he's not in your face either. Like, he's not like, you know, a dark arm dragon. He's like kind of in the background, kind of scary looking almost.
And I love the color tones they use in the card too.
Yeah, it's really a dark,
earthy tones in there.
It's great.
That don't make him stand out, but it insinuates his form.
And that concludes our top 10 favorite Yu-Gi-Oh card artworks.
Thanks for hanging in there with us.
Yeah, and we'd also like to know what are yours. So please leave them in the comments. What cards, you know, art really sticks out to you? I had a load of like runner-ups that I would have loved to pick.
Yeah, but we might save those for a different kind of video.
Yeah, maybe you'll see them in another. So if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe and maybe share it with your friends. Also, I've got Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages if you...
So comment wherever you want.
Yeah, comment wherever you want and check those out and follow me. And, I suppose that concludes this.
See ya.
See ya.
Team APS out.